Tonight, the commission to investigate the murder of a Defense Force Marine is revealed. Also, a juvenile brought before the courts today on a murder charge. And later, the Gaming Operators Association on the defense following claims that members are not complying with the new tax regime. This is Eyewitness News.
Eyewitness News brought to you by Flow Evo, powered by BTC. Flow Evo is here.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Candino Knowles. Thanks for joining us. Off the top tonight, a group of retired senior law enforcement officials has been given the responsibility to investigate the shooting death of a former Defense Force Marine who was allegedly gunned down by another Marine on April 28th on Government House grounds. National Security Minister Marvin Dames made the revelation at Cabinet this morning, promising full transparency. Theo Seeley has tonight's top story.
Less than 2 weeks after the shooting death of Royal Bahamas Defense Force veteran Petty Officer Philip Paul at Government House grounds, government has revealed the names of 4 men who will form an independent team charged with investigating the incident, which left many questioning the strength of security protocols at the official residence of the country's head of state.
In order to address this incident in a transparent manner, I am appointing 4 eminently qualified professionals of note and associated backgrounds to form the review committee, which will conduct the inquiry with immediate effect.
He's joined by former Royal Bahamas Defense Force Commodore Roderick Bowe, retired Police Superintendent Douglas Hanna, and Attorney Paul Jones, who is also a retired police officer.
It's a pleasure to have these 4 gentlemen on board. And this review committee has the full backing of the government of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas and are mandated to conduct their investigations over the next 2 months, after which they will report their findings, which will be communicated to the Bahamian public.
The review committee will not only investigate whether or not there were any security breaches or oversight at the time of the incident, but they will also provide feedback as to what improvements could be made to the current security structure at Government House.
They understand investigations, will bring law to the table, and they will know how to keep that dividing line to ensure that from these findings that we can bring about the needed improvements in the long term to a place like Government House. And this will assist us too in some of the work that we would have already started as it relates to protection of government buildings.
25-year-old Javon Seymour, former Defense Force officer, was charged with Paul's shooting death on May 3rd. He has been remanded to the Bahamas Department of Correctional Services and returns to court June 20th for a voluntary bill of indictment. Theo Seeley, Eyewitness News.
All right, while that review committee has been tasked to investigate the shooting incident and provide additional feedback on how government agencies can beef up security, opposition leader Philip Davis is saying he hopes a mental evaluation of police and Defense Force officers is included in the review.
The emotional and psychological fitness of individuals who hold sensitive positions in the uniform branches of the government are critical to the effectiveness of these branches of government. Hence, the question arises as to what protocols are in place to ensure the mental and emotional health and stability of individuals who are in these highly sensitive positions.
Another murder recorded here in the capital overnight, marking the 28th for the year. Police tell us that a man was walking on Dominica Way in Sunshine Park when he was approached by a man who stabbed him multiple times about the body. Police say paramedics responded to the scene and were able to stabilize the victim and transport him to hospital, but police say he later died as a result of his injuries. Investigations are said to be ongoing. Police have also launched an island-wide manhunt for Joel Stubbs, also known as Joey. He's wanted by the Central Detective Unit for murder. Stubbs stands about 5 feet 9 inches tall and is of slim build. If you have any information on his whereabouts, you are asked to contact police at 328-TIPS. Also, to get another look at that photo, please visit our website, www.ewnews.com. And police have 3 men in custody in connection with the recent smash and grab robbery at John Bull's Baha Mar store. Chief Superintendent Solomon Cash telling the media that police are still looking for a 4th person of interest. On Sunday, 2 thieves stormed the John Bull jewelry store at Baha Mar and stole an assortment of jewelry. Police say the suspects entered the store, smashed the showcase glass, and stole an assortment of watches and jewelry before running from the scene. No weapons, we are told, were used, and there were no reports of injuries. A juvenile boy and a woman faced murder charges today before a magistrate. Another young male was previously charged last month for the same murder. It was a lengthy proceeding today, which had several unexpected twists. Matthew Moxie reports.
32-year-old Natasha Charles of Hamster Road, shown in the royal blue jacket, and a 17-year-old male was brought before Chief Magistrate Joyanne Ferguson Pratt today for the shooting death of Brian Smith. The juvenile male was charged with murder and conspiracy to commit murder, while his female accomplice was charged with 1 count of conspiracy to commit murder. Last month, 21-year-old Chadwick Capron, also known as Goldie, was also charged for the same murder. According to police reports, Smith was murdered on Easter Monday when he was shot on Foster Street in the Chippingham area. According to the prosecutor, Charles expressed to the judge that she was treated in a degrading manner while in police custody at the Central Police Station. It is alleged that she was denied food and opportunities to use the bathroom. According to Charles, she had to relieve herself on the floors of her holding cell. Both defendants were not required to enter a plea and were remanded to the Bahamas Department of Correctional Services. The juvenile, who was sent to the Adolescent Center at the Department of Correctional Services, will have a bail hearing with the Chief Magistrate on Monday, May 13th. At the same time, the Chief Magistrate will also address the allegations by Charles of inhumane treatment. Matthew Moxie, Eyewitness News.
The Drug Enforcement Unit of the Royal Bahamas Police Force tonight declaring a war on drugs, and officers say they will show offenders that they mean business when it comes to upholding the law. In fact, 3 Bahamian men and 1 South American man were present in the magistrate's court today to answer to drug possession charges as well as charges related to drug importation. Francesca Brown sat in court for this.
50-year-old Harold Roll of Mangrove Key, 35-year-old Pizarro Brennan of Bimini, and 37-year-old Clyde Dawkins of Andros stood before Deputy Chief Magistrate Subusola Swain in connection with several drug-related charges. All 3 men were charged with possession of dangerous drugs with the intent to supply, conspiracy to possess dangerous drugs with the intent to supply, importation of dangerous drugs with the intent to supply, and conspiracy to import dangerous drugs. Now, according to police reports, on May 3rd, officers seized 1,627 pounds of suspected marijuana in waters near South Andros. All 3 defendants pleaded not guilty to the charges and were denied bail. They were remanded to the Bahamas Department of Correctional Services until August 21st for trial. Shortly after this arraignment, 25-year-old Sergio Epman, who is from Suriname, was also charged before Magistrate Swain for attempting to smuggle 1.8 pounds of cocaine through the Lyndon Pinling International Airport. Edmund pleaded not guilty to the possession of dangerous drug charges, conspiracy to possess dangerous drugs with the intent to supply, and the conspiracy to import dangerous drugs. He pleaded guilty to the charge of importation of dangerous drugs with the intent to supply. He was denied bail and has been remanded to the Bahamas Department of Corrections until May 17th for trial. Francesca Brown, Eyewitness News.
The Bahamas Gaming Operators Association is on the defense tonight following comments made by Finance Minister Peter Turnquest. Mr. Turnquest suggested that more than half of gaming operators were not compliant with government's new gaming tax regime. Well, Gaming Operators Association President Gershon Major says Turnquest's comments were gravely inaccurate and questioned the minister's motive for purporting what he says is false news.
Currently, there are 3 operators that are fully compliant, which represent 70% of the operator taxes due to the government. Therefore, the government has collected the majority of the outstanding operator taxes due for 2018-19 fiscal year. We are uncertain as to why the Minister of Finance would make such a public statement, that he knows or ought to know is demonstratively false.
While Major asserts that some 70% of gaming operators have paid up their taxes, he admitted that revenue from patron tax has yet to be handed over. He says there are a number of technicalities that need to be ironed out before that could happen.
Initially, a tax on patron deposits, gaming operators could not lawfully begin collecting these taxes on 1st of April 2019, as the government intended. To implement such a tax, operators' systems must be modified, internationally tested, certified, and approved by the regulator, the Gaming Board for the Bahamas, as fit for purpose. Only once that process is completed can the collection of patron taxes on lotto winnings commence. The minister ought to be aware of this fact and to intimate that this component of the taxes as standing is misleading. Bahamas Gaming Operators Association has always maintained that the domestic gaming industry is willing to pay its fair share. Where there may be outstanding matters between some operators and the government, meaningful dialogue is ongoing, and we are hopeful that a resolution will be found in short order.
President of the Bahamas Public Services Union, Kimsley Ferguson, is responding tonight to an Oxford economics report on its recent review of the Bahamian economy and the country's accession to the World Trade Organization. The Oxford report found that Bahamian workers lacked the necessary skills and education for firms to adequately perform in a global economy, and this contributes to the high unemployment in comparison with other countries in the region, that report also found. It indicates that the skills gap combined with relatively high wages makes firms in the country uncompetitive. Ferguson said the information revealed in the report, though, is not surprising, and said government's decision to join WTO could present a number of significant challenges. He insisted that more training in various sectors must take place.
We're more concerned with persons who are qualified, but those qualified persons must now come into the public service, and then public servants who they're saying are not qualified have to actually teach these people how to function in the public service. And so with the public service, there's training from within. And so if persons have been in a particular capacity for a long period of time and they're functioning, we believe that they should actually be compensated. They should actually be given the opportunity to advance from one level to another. And so while it is important to have credentials of some sort, we are concerned that the persons who have actually been keeping the wheels of the public service turning are being slighted and overlooked.
We are just getting started in Eyewitness News, but when we come back, a new project launched for the inner city. We'll tell you about it coming up. And later, can you guess the name of the newest royal? We'll see when we come back. We've got more on that, but first, here's a check on tonight's weather forecast.
They say time flies when you're having fun, but can you believe it's been 1 year since Eyewitness News made its debut? We're the new news standard, and to show our appreciation for your support, we're having a week-long celebration. We'll highlight some of the best moments in news since 2018. We take the fun to the streets of the capital on Saturday at 11 a.m. with an exciting float parade. Come out to see the country's top news reporters as we spread the love. And then join us at R.M. Bailey Park, where the float parade will culminate at 2 p.m. There will be 20 exciting pop-up vendors for you to enjoy sweet treats and so much more. And then on Sunday, we invite you to celebrate with us at our anniversary church service to be held at Trinity Assembly City of Praise. It's our 1-year anniversary, and we want you to celebrate with us.
This portion of the news is brought to you by J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, giving you peace of mind.
You are looking at live pictures over Goodman Bay, where the temperature is right around 78 degrees. We've got a low tonight of about 69. This is Eyewitness News. Welcome back. The Progressive Liberal Party will host its convention July 25th and 26th at Melia Nassau Beach Resort. PLP leader Philip Brave Davis confirmed the dates to Eyewitness News yesterday. He said all positions in the party will be made available during the convention. However, he was unable to say whether he will be challenged for the leadership post. The PLP was originally scheduled to host its convention last November, but it was postponed until May and then again to July. The PLP held its last convention in 2017. All right, government launching its Access Acceleration program in the inner city community. The launch taking place at the Edmund Moxie Park on Blue Hill Road tonight. The program is expected to assist residents with accessing funding for small and medium-sized enterprise. It's all a part of government's Over the Hill initiative. April Sands joins us live from that launch. She spoke with residents earlier today. April, what are we hearing?
Candino, good evening. This meeting has just ended, so it's a little noisy around me. But Candino, I can tell you that this is considered to be a new dimension to the Over the Hill program. So many persons are here tonight, whether it be from the residents from these inner city communities or, of course, entrepreneurs. What I can tell you, what was discussed tonight was that there was going to be training that is going to be offered to inner city entrepreneurs. There's going to be mentorship, and there's going to be grant funding. Now, earlier today, we were able to speak to residents about this Over the Hill initiative, and I can tell you many of them had their questions, but many of them overjoyed. Take a look.
Our goal has been to take a look at how the goals of the Small Business Development Center match with the Over the Hill partnership. We are driven by a desire to rejuvenate and restore the original cultural hub of the Bahamas through both physical and mental reconstruction.
With just a little over $800,000 donated to date by the Access Accelerator Small Business Development Center and Albany Resort, the government's Over the Hill initiative is expected to take on phase 1 of 3, officially in both the Bain and Grantstown and Centerville constituencies. While the initiative will allow for qualified residents and business owners to receive exemptions from real property taxes and customs duties related to construction, some argue that not everyone will be able to receive the tax exemptions. Also, for many, there's a concern for gentrification. However, there are those in the community that say they've never been more hopeful.
Baintown was been neglected by each and every MP would come here. I ain't seen nothing happening. But I noticed the Prime Minister initiated a program whereby they clean up, right? So, it's good. Because then you're getting rid of all these hiding spots for criminal activities. But the empowerment of the young people.
I think it could be and will be beneficial for all small business within the zoning area. I see small businesses striving once we all can get into it, sign on to it, grow your business, develop your business, and so forth. I see it's a positive initiative, and we just gotta, make the best of it.
And despite multiple meetings being held between government officials and residents of the Bain and Grantstown area on the new initiative, some said today was their first time hearing about the program at all.
Well, I haven't heard about it, but I think it's a good idea, and I think the government is moving ahead now, and things like that would be good for the community. So I think that's a good thing.
Okay. During a press conference this morning at the office of the Prime Minister, government officials thanked donors for their contribution, receiving additional checks for over $300,000 for additional work in the Over the Hill communities.
We've commenced the cleaning up of the Over the Hill community, and what has been most enlightening to me already, I've seen numerous tour buses, not just one particular company, but several different companies that have been traveling throughout the inner city, showing and demonstrating what are the benefits and the historical sites within the inner city.
Now, Candino, just as mentioned earlier in that report, many persons still have questions surrounding this program, despite the fact that, of course, there were multiple meetings that took place on informing the inner city residents just what this over-the-hill project would mean for many persons. But, of course, the Prime Minister did make his address here tonight, and, of course, we'll have that in tomorrow's newscast. Reporting for Eyewitness News, I'm April Sands.
All right, thanks a lot, April. Well, the wait is over. The world finally had its first glimpse of Prince Harry and Meghan's newborn. The royal couple revealed earlier today that they've named their son Archie Harrison Mountbatten Windsor. The newborn arrived at 5:26 Monday morning, weighing 7 pounds, 3 ounces. He is the 7th in line to the British throne. The newest royal has already made history as the first biracial child in the royal family, a significant milestone within British society and across the Commonwealth. All right, that does it for us in this segment. But coming up in sports, Randy Smith is off the top with all the latest action. Randy?
Candino, the high school soccer nationals began yesterday. Also, Tevin Simonet is climbing the collegiate baseball ranks. We have those updates and more coming up for you in Eyewitness Sports.
Hello, I'm Gershon Major, CEO of the Bahamas Gaming Operators Association. Are you or a loved one suffering from a gambling addiction? Do you find yourself more often than not having to choose between your daily expenses and this form of entertainment? If you've answered yes to these questions, we are here to help. At the BGOA, our doors are always open. There are several mechanisms in place to protect you as a player as part of our industry's responsible gaming program. If you find yourself or someone you know slipping through the cracks, please come in and visit us at number 41 Top of the Hill Mackey Street for an assessment, immediate assistance, or professional intervention at no cost to you. Remember, it's only a game, so please do so responsibly. For more information, please contact us at 603-2083. Visit our website at bgoabahamas.com or call our hotline at 808-9509.
The woman either win $10,000 or $50,000. Jesus Christ!
It all comes down to this. Sebastian, CEO of Island Luck, is presently in the air.
We got ourselves a winner right here. Let me bring out the leader of the woman there. $20,000. Well, my God.
Surrounding the most prestigious communities of Western New Providence, you will discover corporate luxury. Welcome to Viridian, the most exclusive commercial development in the Bahamas. Enjoy deluxe, contemporary, and open-concept office suites with world-class amenities placed in close proximity to high-net-worth clients. This is where corporate meets luxury. To visit our sales gallery, contact 457-0508 or 438-6800. Viridian, where corporate meets luxury.
Good evening, I'm Randy Smith and welcome to Eyewitness Sports. We begin things tonight with some high school soccer action. The national championships kicked off yesterday at the Roscoe Davies Field. 4 games headline opening day in both the senior boys and girls divisions. In the opener, Anatole Rogers girls beat St. Andrews 1-0. Aquinas senior boys edged Government High 2-0. The C.R. Walker girls knocked off Sunland Baptist 4-2. And the C.R. Walker Knights boys routed the Laifaki Dragons 6-1.
I expect it to grow as we go into the weekend. This is the best turnout we had for first day game, match day 1 games, and so that's good. So that means excitement is growing, the support is there, and I expect by Thursday and Saturday with the finals, we're going to have a good crowd.
In baseball news, senior Tevin Simonet was named as the ASUN Player of the Week after being a key component in helping the Bison sweep Stetson University in a pivotal conference series. Now, Simonet hit .500 with 3 home runs over the course of 2 games. In track and field at the Billy Hayes Invitational, Giles Edian won the men's high jump with the season's best leap of 7 feet and a quarter inch. He'll be back on the field next weekend for the Big Ten Outdoor Championships. And on the tennis front, Abigail Sims yesterday signed on to play collegiately for Indiana Tech next fall. Sims recently advanced to the main draw of the BLTA's Kumbay Splash. Well, that does it for us in sports, but stay tuned. Eyewitness News continues in a moment. I'm Randy Smith. Have a great evening.
Looking for quiet, relaxation, elegance, and luxurious but yet affordable pampering? Come and see us at Baja Retreat Spa, East Bay Street next to Luciano's. How about a manicure, pedicure, facial, eyebrow threading, and body sugaring? You can purchase an instant gift certificate online at www.bajaretreat.com or call us at 323-6711.
You're watching Eyewitness News.
Coming up in Beyond the Headlines with Clint Watson, a review of government's 2 years in office ahead of its anniversary. You don't want to miss it. It's coming up in Beyond the Headlines. It starts right after this. That does it for us at Eyewitness News. It's been a pleasure having you in our company tonight. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Candido Knowles saying good night.